Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Happy Leap Day. February 29th, which only happens every 4 years. Once every 4 years. And that's today. February 29th, last day. March Madness about to kick off in, 2.5 weeks or something? Well, the selection happens in 2.5 weeks. So we got that going for us. Yesterday, it was probably, here in Texas at least, 50 degrees cooler than the day before? Crazy weather. It was 94 one day. The next, I think it was, what was it yesterday? What was our actual high? 48 or something?
Yeah, I didn't even get 50.
Wow. Incredible. At global warming. Man, I guess it would have been below zero if global warming hadn't kicked in. So
Correct.
Thank goodness.
I'm a little disappointed on behalf of the audience right now. I thought we were told we would get Dreadlocks Pat today. Is that not accurate?
Oh.
Did I hear something?
No, it's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's Friday.
So tomorrow you'll show up in here.
Sure.
With the dreads. Actually, Pat had Mixie Mexi went ahead and did the honors for us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Isn't that cute?
That's adorable.
That's adorable.
Yep.
Rasta Unleashed. I love that.
It comes from yesterday's discussion about Joy Reid,
Yes.
who was sporting a blonde hairdo.
Still.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Still is.
What's
and
her deal?
It's cultural appropriation.
Exactly what it is.
That's not a black person hairdo. That's a white person hairdo.
Thank you.
So I said, what if I came in here in dreads? What would happen? Oh, my gosh, I'd be canceled. So,
Thank you,
it
Mixie
is.
Mexi.
Thank you.
Good job with that.
Yeah, nicely done. And great to have you back, Keith. Welcome. Feeling better, I take it?
So good.
Yeah.
I am
Feeling just great
feeling
now?
great. I'm
Good.
rip roaring and ready to go.
Excellent. So is Congress. They struck a deal yesterday to avert a partial government shutdown for now. Okay, but we'll have this discussion again in 2 weeks?
Basically, yeah.
So tired of it. Can you not, golly, just get a budget passed? And let's forget about it for the year, the entire fiscal year. But no, they can't do it.
Where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun? I mean, it's always, we're right on the edge of our seats. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to have to hear about this again? Is the government going to shut down? Will people not get their benefits? Blah, 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 blah,
There's
blah,
a
blah.
great account to follow on Twitter, Randoland US, and every now and then he'll post crazy things that your federal government spends money on. And hopefully this is covered in this stopgap measure for the National Institutes of Health. They recently got a grant for nearly $2 million. And it was to the Public Health Foundation Enterprises. The purpose is to for awareness, uptake, adherence, addressing social determinants of health among racially diverse trans women in the Deep South. So let's hope that gets covered by your federal government in this round as well. I mean, it's madness. Absolute madness the way this government is run.
And yesterday, Senate Minority Leader, leader of the Republican Party in the U.S. Senate, announced he was going to step down from his leadership role in the Senate come November.
Yeah, go.
So we got that going for us.
His term, though, goes through 2026.
And he said he's going to ride it out. He's going to stay. But here's his announcement.
Okay.
So as I've been thinking about when I would deliver some news to the Senate,
Yes.
I always imagined a moment
That's right.
when I had total clarity and peace about the sunset of my work.
Okay.
A moment when I'm certain I have helped preserve the ideals I so strongly believe.
So great. Been so powerful.
That day arrived today.
Yay.
That arrived
See ya.
today. Wow. What an emotional moment for us all. That should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
And especially after he froze in the press conferences a couple of times.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that this clip here is him freezing? I thought he was just thinking on the question. Like this one. Can we see this, please?
Running for re-election in 2026.
See, he's thinking about, am I running for re-election in 2026?
Okay.
He's just thinking about it.
Sure.
Don't
Did you hear the
share
question, Senator?
Yeah,
Running
did
for
you hear it?
re-election in 2026.
See, the acoustics were bad.
No, I heard him before, Puddin'.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Yeah, why? Wait, what?
Leave it to you to cherry pick a clip, Pat, of the man's distinguished
To
career
make him
in
look
the Senate.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man's been in the Senate since the...
No, you caught me.
Yeah.
Since,
80s.
The Garfield
84.
administration?
Yeah, 1884.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Get the Terranium, man.
So it took
Somebody
a
else
minute.
have a question? Please speak
Anybody
up.
else?
Speak up, because he can't hear. That's the problem. He can't-
Right.
Oh, my
That's all.
goodness.
He was a little dehydrated.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Little dehydrated.
So who would you like to see as the next leader for the Republicans in the Senate?
Mike Lee. Rand Paul, maybe. It's a pretty short list. Mike Lee, Rand Paul.
Would you be okay with Ted Cruz?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Ted Cruz
Don't want
would
to
be a good one.
shortchange Ted Cruz. Yeah, absolutely. He would be a great one.
A lot of this audience yesterday was saying maybe we go with John Fetterman. I mean,
Sure.
He has more good days than Mitch.
Yeah, he does.
Honestly.
Yeah, he does.
And by
I
the
saw,
way-
though, that they're talking about John Thune and
Yeah.
John Cornyn. Those are the two
Yes.
that are probably going to be
So
jammed down our
help
throats.
me. If it's John Cornyn,
Oh, my gosh.
stop it.
And it probably will be.
Stop. You know, when they gathered around the old fireplace with Joe, all the leaders and stuff, and talked about the budget and everything, apparently in that meeting, McConnell told Mike Johnson in front of Schumer and the president and everybody there that stop worrying about the border. We need to worry about Ukraine. We need to worry about Taiwan, Israel funding.
Right.
Then we worry about the border. I don't even know if he said then we'll worry about the border. The quote didn't even say that.
How crazy is that, too?
Get out of here, old man.
For the most powerful U.S. senator in the Republican Party to be discounting protecting ourselves. Wait, don't worry about the border?
Yeah.
Because Ukraine's more important. Okay, well, good for you. Maybe you can leave for Kiev and run for office there. Yeah. Or just appoint yourself. I'm sure that'd be fine, too, in Ukraine.
I do want to thank Costas Morris on Twitter yesterday for the reminder that we do have Mitch McConnell to thank for stopping the appointment of Obama.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
So, okay, in what, 20 years in Senate leadership? Almost 20. It's going on that. I think he took over in 2007. But in that amount of time, you can name one thing, maybe two.
But Merrick Garland would have been on the Supreme Court instead of Neil Gorsuch, and therefore Roe versus Wade would have never been.
And that'd be bad. That'd be bad.
Thank you. Now go away, little turtle man.
Yes.
Go away.
Yeah.
Give you
served your purpose.
Turtles don't walk fast, so you should start leaving D.C. now.
Is there any kind of, I don't know, entertainment piece that tells us about turtles?
Oh, no. Do we have that song?
I doubt it.
I don't think. Joe, if you have that,
we've had a little turnover in the video department since.
If turtles they would put straws in their noses. When I see a straw, I put it in my mouth. Straws don't belong there, but the turtles don't know why. So maybe they all deserve to die.
That song's for turtles everywhere.
Yeah. On this sad, sad day.
Sad day.
For the lead turtle to be stepping down. But not till November, so we've got some time. Whew.
Yeah.
That was a close
don't
one.
forget, we still have at least 3 years left of that guy in the
he's
Senate.
staying in the Senate. He's just not, apparently, I mean, he didn't say this, I don't think, during his announcement, but, right, he's not going to run for re-election.
I don't think that was a part of it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it was, but that's the
question.
implication, I would think.
So in the supposed 35 months left that he has in the Senate, how many freezing moments do you think we'll get in public? To over-under. We should have the over-under at 2.5. 2.5. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm going over on that. Also making the rounds, Dr. Phil showed up on The View this week. Wow, that's unfriendly territory. Where the discussion focused on COVID and the lockdowns. The Coven didn't seem to agree with what he had to say. What a stunning surprise.
Like 08, 09, smartphones came on, and kids stopped living their lives and started watching people live their lives. And so we saw the biggest spike and the highest levels of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and suicidality since records have ever been kept. And it's just continued on and on and on. And then COVID hits 10 years later, and the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%. So
there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save kids' lives.
Remember, we know a lot of folks who died.
A lot of folks
during this. So it wasn't people weren't laying around keeping bond, but you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't because we kept them out of the
oh my God,
the places that they could be sick because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
I'm saying it was the safest group.
Right.
They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Good for you. Good for
Phil?
Phil?
Yep.
I'm so stupid, I of course have to disagree with everything you say. I've been proven wrong so many times, and people just expect me to throw out something stupid and wrong, like I always do every day.
It was minuscule, the number of children who died.
Minuscule. I mean, the percentage was almost zero.
Oh, yes. And I mean, for the longest time, the CDC, and I haven't checked this in a while, but for the longest time, the numbers were in the single digits of children.
They have no idea, and they don't care. All they care about is their agenda. And lack of freedom seems to be their agenda. They loved the fact that they didn't have the freedom to go to school for 2 years in some cases. Dr. Phil also gave the truth about the border, which I'm sure they loved as well.
I talked to the head of all the border guards down there, the head of the union. I asked him straight up, kids are coming over the border with numbers written on them, phone numbers and addresses. Do we check those out? He said, well, we call them. Is it possible that we're sending them into known prostitution rings or sweatshops? He said, it's not possible. It is absolute. We are using American tax dollars to ship children into known prostitution and sweatshops.
Some children.
Well, who knows?
Okay.
We don't know. I said, are you...
So what kind of checking do they do? So
They call the number and say, do you know about this child? They say, yes. Will you receive them when they come? Yes. I said, is it possible that that's a prostitution ring? He said, we know enough to know that in a number of cases, it has turned out to be absolute sex ring. It has turned out to be an absolute sweatshop. I said, how is this possible?
Well, what do they do?
He said, it is happening.
What do they do then if they know that that's happening? Where is the U.S. Attorney's Office? Where is the...
Here's the
good question.
You have to re-ask that question when we come back.
Gotta take a break.
Okay, so we're coming back with more.
Yeah. They were not expecting this Dr. Phil to show up yesterday.
No, they weren't.
Someone has not been keeping an eye on him lately.
Yeah, they weren't briefed on the fact that he's basically conservative. Certainly far more conservative than they are.
Because he's promoting a book now along the same line. Isn't that right, Chris? Do you know? Because I'm pretty sure that he's on a book tour spewing these truths in it.
Glenn had him on the podcast last week. And I don't know if it was I don't think it was live. So it may not have even aired yet. I'm not sure.
It did air.
It did air?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things I guess he said is that things are so bad now that he can't keep quiet about it. He's been trying. You try to walk that line, I guess, so that you can be a friend to both sides when you're not doing a confrontational show, when you're not doing a political show, and he wasn't. Well, now he's going to, and he's creating this new network that I think is going to be conservatively slanted.
Here in Dallas. Here in Fort Worth, about 20 minutes from us.
He's building a beautiful new studio. I guess he's got incredible money backing him. And so they're going to spend a lot of money on this new network.
And they sent an invite to the Pat Girl and Leach crew, so we'll be there.
Did they?
Yeah, we'll be in studio.
Oh,
We're
good.
just waiting to see what days we
Can't
can
wait.
go.
That'll be fun.
Right?
Is that when it opens or?
That's for a show taping.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Is he going to give cars
forward to
away
that.
like Oprah?
I'll definitely be in the audience if that's the case. I'll be there. So that'll be fun. All right. Our very own Blaze TV host, Sara Gonzales, is now hosting. She's gone from the News and Why to the Sara Gonzales Unfiltered show. Everybody's favorite spicy Latina will be on 5 nights a week with no holds barred takes on news, politics, culture, what you've come to know and expect from her. But also, we've come to expect the unexpected from Sara. She's going to be joined by regular guests. There's another show guest that will be there from time to time. Let you decide, figure out. Maybe you can do the math.
Wait, I can't think of another unshow guest.
You can't?
No.
Really?
Is there another unshow
Yeah,
guest?
another unshow that may appear, on their own show.
Okay.
But also on her
So
unshow. Yes.
On another on.
I think you got it. You nailed it. So, Sara Gonzales, Unfiltered YouTube channel. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Show looks great. It's vintage Sara. She looks great. You never know where she's going to go with this stuff. Sara Gonzales, Unfiltered.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Earlier this week, investigative reporter, journalist Lara Logan appeared in front of Congress where she described the root of the problem with our southern border. What? Wait, there is a problem? Huh. Here's what she said is the root.
You said you've been targeted over the last 10 years. Can you describe what precipitated your targeting?
Yes, I'm reporting the truth about Benghazi. I was attacked by one of those NGOs that masquerades as a nonpartisan watchdog. In violation of its 501(c) status, it occupies a highly partisan position. I'm talking about Media Matters for America. I'm sure there's many doctors in this room, scientists who've been attacked by the same people. The same people that run that. David Brock, for example, another political assassin, now runs an organization called Facts First USA, which is designed to make sure that your research, Dr. Hazan, never reaches the people or the public. There are other organizations like Defeat Disinfo, which claims to be a PAC that goes after disinformation, particularly set up to target COVID and throughout COVID with General Stanley McChrystal and the other people that advise that organization. But Senator Johnson, it's not a secret that these organizations exist. What is not widely known and talked about is that it's paid for by us. It's paid for by the taxpayers in your omnibus spending bills that get shoved through the House and the Senate against the will of the people of this country. There are cutouts for these NGOs, and what they do is they launder this money, they pass it from one NGO to the next, and in the name of preventing the spread of disinformation, they censor, silence, intimidate, and punish. I said that this is a death sentence for journalists. It's how you murder a journalist without killing them. It's how you murder a scientist without killing them. It's how you murder a doctor without killing them. It's how you murder the vaccine injured when they haven't died yet. It's how you finish them off and everybody else in their family. And it's time for people in this building who come to work every day here, who's to serve us. This is the only country where we, the people, are the government. This is a government for the people, of the people, and by the people. And the same is said for so-called journalists. Del Bigtree, this man has been targeted for simply going to the FDA hearings and filming them when they approve vaccines. Just filming them, not doing a thing, and putting that out and showing people there is no real approval process. They didn't actually do their jobs. And for that, he's been targeted for years, long before COVID ever hit. So it's time now for us to stop taking taxpayer funds to slit our own throats.
Well, thank you. One of the many reasons I generally vote no on those.
Nice.
But thank you, Ms. Logan.
Wow. She's putting herself out there and has been for a while now. So that's great. It's nice to have her on our side because she's really intelligent and I think a fair journalist. She's
definitely.
I mean, she came from 60 Minutes. Well, she was doing other things before that, but hard to believe with the background she has in mainstream liberal media that she is so honest.
Yeah, and on Twitter especially.
Yeah.
My goodness, she is constantly
really good.
Dropping truth bombs on there.
Man, they must hate that. Yeah. I mean, they consider her one of their own. And now she's turned on us.
But we really do need to stay after these NGOs.
Oh, for sure.
They are the organized machine funded by your hard work today. You're waking up right now, going to work. Congratulations. Your money is going to funnel illegals into this country with our government's okay.
And Media Matters. I didn't realize that was one of the NGOs she was going to talk about. I mean, what a pathetic ruse that there's some sort of non-governmental organization that's just helping people. Come on now. We all know that Media Matters was started by George Soros and Hillary Clinton, and they've been doing their bidding ever since. Now, why are there delays at our airports? What's going on there? Check this out as potentially one of the reasons.
Border airline passengers are advised to check in with your airline's mobile app as soon as possible, up to 24 hours in advance, and arrive at the airport with at least 2 hours before your plane takes off. That's because asylum seekers illegally released by the Department of Homeland Security are waiting on standby for seats. And if you aren't at the boarding gate when agents start to fill empty seats, you could be bumped. That's what happened to Joel Cavazos. He bought tickets to L.A. from McAllen. He says he had trouble checking in on the American Airlines app and even arrived at the airport an hour before his flight. Cavazos says he checked in here with TSA, but by the time he got through the checkpoint, the boarding agent told him he had been bumped from the flight.
No, they weren't polite at all. I mean, the initial response was, "You missed your flight. We gave your ticket to someone else."
Oh, my gosh.
Kudos
an
to the
hour
reporter.
ahead of time?
No, I said 2 hours ahead of time. Oh, he was an hour.
He was an hour.
But the reporter actually said the reason is because asylum seekers released into our country illegally. Wow. Thank you for stating it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, how pissed would you be if you're bumped off the flight you paid good money for an illegal alien who's, flying on our dime?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who paid for that ticket?
And they shouldn't be here in the first place.
Yep, you paid for that ticket. So
there's just so many things that are so outrageous. You can't even put them into words anymore.
We are not a real country, man.
No,
this is not.
Man.
This is not a country anymore.
We've talked about the University of Georgia student too, who was just recently killed while out jogging. Laken Riley, killed by an illegal immigrant.
Yep, who was released in a sanctuary city, New York.
And they had so many opportunities to deport this guy or lock him up at least after multiple run-ins with law enforcement in New York, in Georgia, probably every state in between. Yeah. So the guy's a citizen of Venezuela. Here's what Joe said about deporting illegals from Venezuela a couple years ago.
On the border, why is the border more overwhelmed under your watch, Mr. President?
Because there are 3 countries that there are fewer immigrants coming from Central America and from Mexico. Oh. This is a totally different circumstance.
Is it?
What's on my watch now is Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. Mm-hmm. And the ability to send them back to those states is not rational.
It's not rational.
You could send them back and have them. We're working with Mexico and other countries to see if we can stop the flow.
It's not rational.
That's the difference. Thank you.
It's not rational to send them back
to Venezuela, where this murderer
or Managua, Nicaragua.
This alleged murderer is from. Correct.
Can't send them back to Nicaragua.
No.
Why is that? Why? Why can't you do that?
Yeah, and keep in mind now that just in the last few days, you have a 2-year-old child in Maryland killed by a criminal from El Salvador. You have in Louisiana the rape of a 14-year-old girl at knife point, stabbing of another man repeatedly during a robbery. This is just in the last few days. Mm-hmm. And, this isn't even talking about Kate Steinle and others that have been murdered by illegals over the
last
years.
Few years.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is absolutely out of control in a government that doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's America last. With this regime, it's America last. Democrat Congresswoman Katie Porter says there's no reason to start deporting illegals now. There's just no reason.
This happens. I think whenever we're dealing with violent crime, there is a sense of outrage, of sadness, and of loss.
Laken Riley.
But I think the important thing to focus on is any one instance shouldn't shape our overall immigration policy.
I just gave you 3 in the last few days. Why are you saying just the one? How callous is that?
Unbelievable.
That woman is hideous.
Unbelievable.
And besides, that's the Democrat playbook, is to pick one victim.
Yes, it is.
And set policy around it.
If it saves one life, how many times have we heard that phrase? If it saves just one life, it's worth it.
Unborn babies?
Jeez. No, not unborn babies. That's not
a life.
I leave that up to the mother and her doctor.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not up to me.
Gotcha.
And let's keep the government out of my womb, if you would, please. Keep the government out of my womb.
Yeah. And by the way, when Biden gave his little speech on crime yesterday, he didn't mention Laken Riley's name one time. Perfect opportunity for that, considering I saw somebody posted that the Biden account tweeted 27 times about George Floyd, 0 times about Laken Riley so far.
Jeez. Wow. And Athens Clarke County, Georgia Mayor Kelly Girtz
is good.
agrees with Katie Porter.
In the main, I caution against conflating immigration and crime.
Yeah.
The data demonstrates that the two are not connected.
They're not connected. While
because
the connection is right
federal
there
immigration policy
to
on
his
localities
left.
has been under such consistent discussion in recent months.
This guy.
I do want to say a few words about this.
Oh, my gosh. Man. This guy.
It's my 18th year as a local government policymaker. And my work has overlapped with 4 U.S. presidencies.
Gosh.
And numerous iterations of Congress. All of them have failed to reach agreement on how to handle immigration.
Okay, but you're a sanctuary city, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he tried to convince us that it's not.
Oh, it's not
a sanctuary city.
Okay, well then.
So listen to this.
That term means different things to different people depending on the context of the discussion. Many of the elements. Many of the elements.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Good.
We're here to listen.
You're a liar.
We're here to listen. There'll be time for questions.
You are guilty and got blood on your head for this murder, sir.
Wow.
Many of the aspects that are ascribed to sanctuary cities
We know what sanctuary
are
cities
things that are disallowed by Georgia law. And we contribute a document every year to the Georgia Department of Audits.
Okay.
Indicating that we do not correspond to these definitions under state law.
Yes, you do.
Policies have been adopted by the mayor and commission that have created sanctuary city status in Athens.
You need to resign.
One protocol that sometimes arises.
Resign now. You allowed
One protocol.
this to happen, sir.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. People have just had enough.
Yeah.
You know, they're just sick and tired of this.
And while it's too little too late, the White House yesterday said that, okay, sanctuary cities, if you have criminals, you need to work with ICE now if they're guilty of stuff. So I'm sure that'll
that'll
fix it. That'll fix it?
Yeah, that'll fix it. Well, except the Republicans will probably step in and prevent him from fixing it. Democrats, as we all know, have been fighting so hard to fix the border situation and illegal immigration for so many years, for decades now, and the Republicans just won't let them. I love that narrative now. I mean, they just completely turned around reality and flipped it on its head. And there are those who are going to buy it. Fortunately, though, I think most of the country is pretty aware of what's going on right now and who's to blame.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny the numbers. As much as they try to lie to our face, you can't deny the statistics. Even by the conservative figures, they've allowed something like 8 million illegals to cross the border since Biden took over. It was 2.5 million under Trump in his whole presidency. So it's 3.5 times as many as Trump in less time. You can't say that's a Republican or Trump's fault.
Yeah.
But they do. They do anyway.
Congratulations to the sanctuary city of Denver, Colorado, realizing that they're at their breaking point. They are shutting down migrant shelters in that city, saying we can't take anymore.
Wow. Also have the border crisis hitting a small Wisconsin town. We'll tell you about that, too, coming up.
Nothing's free, you idiots.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-933-93. Got a few tweets here. Living Idiocracy tweets, finally, Keith has come back to Pat Gray Unleashed. Glad this swelling went down. Yeah, we were really concerned about you earlier in the week because none of us had ever seen swelling quite like that. I mean, I don't know. Was it water weight gain?
Allergies.
It was allergies.
Yeah.
Sounds like you still have a little touch of it, but the swelling.
It's not down here anymore.
No. Okay.
It's just up here.
All right.
Let me eat!
Good. Also from Pale Stale Mail, did Jeffy go on Ozempic? No, the swelling just went down, right? Because that would be fast for Ozempic to kick in like that. Bunter Hayden, crack connoisseur. The government may shut down, but Ukraine will get their American tax dollars. Okay. Phew.
Oh, my gosh. Hang on.
Are you positive on that? Or are you just, I hope you're not. I hope you're serious and you're not joking around with us.
Yeah. If you're in Canada right now and you're a taxpayer in that socialist country,
$2 billion.
This says $3 billion.
Yeah, it's $3 billion Canadian, but we figured out it's $2 billion American.
Well, it includes a gender and diversity working group to promote gender transformative mine action in Ukraine. I don't know what that even means, but there you go.
But they're taking care of transgenders, and that's all that counts. So.
Demining in Ukraine, but it has to be gender.
It's amazing.
What's happening?
It's just amazing.
What is happening here?
The Baron of Bubbles tweets, they ask Mitch if he's going to run again, and he says, I don't know. They haven't told me yet. It's probably true. It's exactly what probably I'm sure he would say. Nancy's vodka-soaked dentures
Nothing wrong with
had turtle stew and conch fritters in the Cayman Islands. Pretty tasty. I've never tried that, but sounds really tasty. Not of this world. The Coven were shocked because libs just cannot comprehend someone in the entertainment industry who could possibly not goose step with the rest of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And Sara the band. Are we really surprised that a Hollywood elite would rather kids be abused than go to school? Look at Hollywood. No, we're not surprised.
Fair point.
But definitely lamenting that fact. Hollywood didn't used to be that way. If you watch movies from the 40s and 50s, it was the jokes usually came at the expense of Democrats. They were much more conservative and America-loving than they are now. But then, of course, the communist movement, which you were trying to root out, took hold in Hollywood, and it's been downhill ever since.
McCarthy was right.
Yeah. And here's a story from the Washington Free Beacon about the border crisis hitting a little tiny town, Whitewater, Wisconsin. The migrants began to trickle into Whitewater, sleepy little town of 15,000, an hour west of Milwaukee, toward the end of 2021. Prior to their arrival, local news and political debates generally revolved around school fundraisers for the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater's Division III athletes. Today, residents are more focused on their 1,000 new neighbors in a town of 15,000. Why are 1,000 immigrants, illegals, piling into Whitewater, Wisconsin? Why?
Mm-hmm. It's so many American towns like Whitewater, Wisconsin.
And they mostly hail from Nicaragua, and Venezuela, and largely keep to the shadows because they lack official identification. Locals say the real number in town could easily be double the number reflected in the police department's official stats. As the crisis in big cities like Chicago and New York receive national attention, Whitewater residents can only laugh. Greater Whitewater Committee President Jeffrey Knight is quick to point out that migrants have caused New York's population to grow by 2%, while Whitewater's population has grown by almost 10% in 2 years. 2 years. Almost entirely because the southern border is in crisis right now. That translates to more than, it would be 1.5 million new arrivals in New York.
The equivalent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you're to apply the same 10% stat. Unbelievable. Responding to the influx has put the town in a $400,000 budget hole. Town officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, told the Free Beacon, nobody knows what brought them to Whitewater. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
It's not a sanctuary city. I mean, you would be thinking, okay, why there? Why Whitewater? Why indeed?
Well, ask your local NGO or White House.
We haven't been shipping them the busloads of illegals from here. They're not coming from Florida and their program. So why? Whatever brought them. Whitewater's migrant, illegal population and its subsequent demographic transformation could offer a glimpse into the next stage of America's immigration saga. As lawmakers fight about what to do with the southern border, the rate of illegal border crossings shows no sign of slowing, with roughly 8.5 million illegal border crossings recorded since President Biden took office. It's almost inevitable that more towns like Whitewater will see more illegals flocking their way. But no other issue is as contentious as the town's growth in police responses. 2 internal Whitewater Police Department slideshows obtained by the Free Beacon describe considerable strain on the local law enforcement, with officers responding to calls that sound like something out of a police procedural. Oh, that's great. It's given him more practice with crime, that's helpful, right? Law enforcement officials said last November that they had traced nearly $250,000 worth of funds back to drug cartels in just 4 months. In the words of one law enforcement official, the migrants perform factory or farm labor during the day and cocaine sales at night.
You're here to make a better life, Pat.
Through illicit drugs.
Yes.
So better life through pharmaceuticals. You
didn't have to finish the thought.
It's just a new twist on better life through pharmaceuticals. That's all it is. Whitewater Police Chief Dan Meyer, who declined to comment for the story, is one of several state and local leaders who have asked the Biden administration to send aid. It's a simple fact that we're not currently providing the Whitewater community with the degree of service that our residents are accustomed to. That needs to change for the sake of both longtime residents as well as individuals who have recently moved here from Central America. In a letter to the White House, Meyer notes that traffic stops have plummeted as officers.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's a plus.
All right, there's a benefit. We can link arms on that.
Less traffic stops because there's more domestic violence calls.
And you ask why that small, unassuming town in Wisconsin. Well, while you were reading that story, I looked up the difference in vote totals in Wisconsin in 2020. Joe Biden edged out Donald Trump in the vote totals by just 20,000 votes.
Wow.
What better way to... Because
it's perfect, yeah.
Chris, didn't you pull a video? Don't we have clip 22? Let's play this. I mean, this is why they're doing this. This is why Obama did it. This is why Biden's doing it. Play 22.
¿Quién es mejor para el inmigrante ilegal?
Who's the best for illegal immigration?
Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe.
Yeah. Joe Biden.
Definitely. Joe Biden.
¿Cuál es mejor, Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Yeah. Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
It's Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
I think
We're
the one guy said Joan Baez,
help us accomplish our dreams here, and so we can get ahead.
Yeah. There's your new Whitewater, Wisconsin voters right there, because we had the montage a couple of weeks ago of the illegals in Denver saying they would vote for Joe if they could.
Oh, of course they would.
So there's your answer right there.
Yeah. Obviously.
As to why
they're
coming to a swing state near you.
And look at these new numbers from the San Diego sector on illegals. The top 10 countries, people from these countries that crossed, the countries themselves did not cross the border into San Diego. You'll be happy to know.
That's a good clarification.
Yeah.
Because if
the whole country crosses, that's problematic.
And actually, you know what? No. Why don't you stick with that original phrasing? Because most of these countries have entirely crossed at this point.
Colombia, 28,000. Again, what's the time frame here?
It's just fiscal year 2024. So this is just the last
last year. Oh, this is this fiscal year,
right?
Which started what? December?
October 1.
October, okay.
Right, so isn't this 4 months of data here, I believe?
Holy cow.
Pretty sure.
Colombia, 28,000. China, 21,000.
Oh, wait a minute.
Fiscal year.
So China borders California is what we're learning from this geography corner.
Yeah, it butts up against San Diego itself. Mexico, 18,000. More from China than Mexico.
How about that?
Brazil, Ecuador, 8,700 and 7,700, respectively. You got your residents from Turkey, which is fun.
I love how it says Turkey, special interest country. But China's not. Cool.
No,
cool.
Right.
Okay.
Guinea. I guess that's Old Guinea because it doesn't say New Guinea. India, Guatemala, and Peru. Nice.
How about that? China,
That's
number
great.
2.
Number 2.
But I'm sure they're just here, like you said.
Oh, seeking a better life.
Better life.
Yeah. It's mostly just the super poor. It's interesting because we had a story just a while ago about how the middle class in China are pouring across our border. The middle class? Oh, all right. So what are they claiming? Are we having to give the middle class in China asylum here too?
I mean, they're not here to get into our learning institutions or our tech industries or near our military bases or anything.
And conduct espionage. That's not what they're here for?
That's what I was starting to say. They're not here for that,
Not here
I'm
for
sure.
espionage. Good. Because I feel a lot better now. What we should do is let them all in. All come free.
I got news for you.
And then let them buy any amount of land they want. Oh, wait, yes, that's already happening. So good. So Biden's going to be in Brownsville today. He's visiting the border.
Mm-hmm. Sure he is.
325 miles from Eagle Pass, where former President Donald Trump will be.
Trump, announced his first, of course. And Biden quickly said, me too. Oh, here's a fun fact, though, about this today. Border Patrol agents say they catch more illegal immigrants crossing near Eagle Pass, where Trump will visit today, in one day than they do in Brownsville, where Biden will visit an entire week.
Wow. That doesn't surprise me.
Who's going for the photo op?
The dueling trips take place, as we mentioned, about 325 miles apart. And according to the White House, Biden will be meeting with law enforcement and local leaders to discuss border security.
You'll get it fixed.
Funding for additional border agents.
Okay.
Fentanyl detection.
Okay.
And more. So.
Good. So
that's going to be fixed starting today. They've got the problem. Well, I mean, they already had it under control because the border is secure, but now it's going to be airtight.
Okay.
They're going to make sure that not even air can get across the border with Mexico.
I'm for that.
Yes.
If it stops some of these third world outbreaks we're seeing.
Me too. But before he went to or heads for the border today, he got a physical yesterday. This was an unscheduled thing. Nobody knew about this.
So weird, right?
There was no mention of it in advance. All of a sudden, I'm going to the doctor to get my physical. Really? Why? Because everything's great. And I just want him to say that now to everybody.
Hold on. When you guys were talking earlier this week about Biden screwing up the Lincoln quote, I thought, what a perfect time to remind people that Joe Biden was born closer to the presidency of Abraham Lincoln than to his own.
Jeez.
It's a fact. Look it up. So sad.
Okay.
Says it all right there. Joe
That's
Biden.
a stunning statistic when you think about it.
That is courtesy of my youngest daughter, Zelie. And
good.
We confirmed this. Yes, Joe Biden was born closer to the presidency of Abraham Lincoln than to his own. It's just, that is the fact.
Wow.
That says it all right there.
Wow. Well, he continues to have a stiff gait. Do we still have that? Do we have the video of him walking to Air Force One yesterday? Because you talk about a stiff gait.
Well, which one?
This guy is the very... Whatever we have of him
I have
walking.
a different one even.
Okay, let's see it.
Let's see it. So
because they're all bad.
You're right.
It doesn't matter.
Here's on his way to his physical here. This is the most forced.
Look at that
fake jog. Watch. Look at that.
Here we go.
Wait for the grass. Wait for the grass.
It's coming. And whoa. Okay, there it is. You seriously
decrepit.
Oh my
pedo.
God. Oh my gosh.
Ugh. So what was yours there? Yeah, you want to see the other one? I don't know if we still have it.
If we have it,
Joe,
but I mean that.
If not, that does it all right there.
Yeah, pretty well says it.
Yeah. So bad.
Wow. He has peripheral neuropathy in both feet. I don't know what peripheral.
Oh, is that the report from the
neuropathy
doc?
is. Yes.
Okay.
Kevin O'Connor, his doctor, said peripheral neuropathy, gastroesophageal reflux. Okay, he's got acid reflux. Please. Allergies and spinal arthritis that are treated with medication. Of course, he doesn't have dementia. He's as sharp as a tack. He's smarter than anybody else on this planet. He's swifter. He's wiser. Also, O'Connor said, the president feels well, and this year's physical identified no new concerns. No, he's been declining like this for years. He continues to be fit for duty and fully executes all of his responsibilities without any exemptions or accommodations. Bull crap.
This is literally the Cuban doctor talking about Fidel Castro 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
He'll live, El Presidente will live till the end of time.
It is that bad. It's about like North Korea or Cuba, where they're claiming that this guy is eternal. You know what? We watch him every day. We see him every day. You can't pull this on us. But Biden told reporters, there's nothing different than last year. Everything is great.
Oh, wait. Hold on. At that crime thing, I think he said, and I didn't pull the audio because it was so bad. He's yelling across the room where he's like, they said I'm too healthy. Like that was the
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's exactly what he said.
He said I'm too healthy.
Yeah, maybe we'll pull that during the break so you can see for yourself.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
When we do,
I'll
he
find
just
it.
does something even more outrageous than what we've made up.
The freaking worst.
Oh my gosh.
I want this guy out of my life once and for all. Go away, bro.
Too healthy.
Yeah, I'll find it.
They're concerned that I'm going to embarrass a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Right.
That's how healthy I am. Okay. Got it. Wow.
Got it. Yeah. I can't wait until we get back from the break, Pat, because somebody wrote a campaign song for Joe to use if he would like, and it's out there circulating, and it's probably the greatest song ever. It might even be better than the Turtle song.
I think I saw at least a portion of it, and I think you're right.
Isn't it great?
It's brilliant.
It's memorable, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, man. Yeah, if they release it as a single, it will be number one.
Do you feel that it will challenge your supremacy as the most downloaded
I think
iTunes
it could.
of all time?
I think it could.
Who pays your... What's that?
Who pays your salary? Yeah. Yeah, the mocking of Chris Matthews, which has over 7 trillion views.
7 trillion.
Anyway, we will get to that. The new song for Joe Biden. I think it's going to inspire you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You going to go knock on some doors for Joe after you hear this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think people will. This is going to turn you completely around on him. We'll get to that and a lot more coming up.
Mr. President, you just got to try harder not to suck.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
One of the most mind-blowing facts that you'll hear this year. Joe Biden was born closer to the presidency of Abraham Lincoln than to his own presidency. God, it's incredible. Yeah. Use that at parties this weekend. You'll astound your friends and neighbors. And they'll all do the math on that. No, that can't be right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you do that.
It's right.
And credit Zeely Malinak when you do.
Okay. They'll be impressed. Yeah. How old is Zeely?
Just turned 16.
Nice fact.
It's fun having
great.
3 young drivers on your auto insurance. I'll tell you that.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Please kill me.
Timothy Klein tweets, Pat, when you appear on Sara's show, you need to bring a can of 7-Up with you to make a point. It was called 7-Up, the Uncola. Right? Then you got another Un.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Uns happening.
A lot of Uns. Yeah. KJ Blinking, I wish somebody would show some common sense and admit there's a difference between border security and immigration. Yeah. Immigration, yes, needs to be reformed, and the border needs to be secure. Both things are true at the same time. Duh. Paco D, does anyone really think of the illegal aliens will think they'll be kicked out? Well, not under this guy. Absolutely not. No. Maybe under Trump they will be. I think his plan, he says, is to start a deportation situation and procedure that has never seen the likes before in American history.
What do you think the demons in America will do?
Oh, they'll go
if they start rounding up illegal aliens.
Be the worst. They will do some weeping and wailing, but let them. You mentioned that Joe was shouting some things back and forth with the press yesterday.
Yeah, I had the quote wrong. Shame on me. Lead with our mistakes.
Shame
right?
on you.
Yeah, I said that he said, they say I'm too healthy. That wasn't the exact quote.
Okay.
Chris just pulled this for us, I guess, or Noah. So thank you guys for doing this. What was the clip yesterday exactly?
Right away. It is concerning that Americans know about Trump, but they think I look too young.
Okay. All right. Kill it. All right.
I'm too young.
They think I look too young. End quote.
That's unreal. Again, that's the he thinks he's so charming thing. Nobody thinks he's funny. Nobody thinks he's charming. And yet he keeps trying to just charm the pants off us. I'm going to get around this thing, and you're going to vote for him because I'm so funny.
In what world does anybody think he looks young?
Yeah, I don't.
Young compared to what? Like, seriously. I mean, shut up, bro.
Methuselah.
Go away.
Who's been dead for thousands of years now, maybe.
Him gone.
Compared to him.
Hey, today's the day. I said by the end of February he'd be gone one way or the other. And
oh yeah,
that ain't
he's got to quit today then to make your prediction come true. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Everybody thinks. I mean, Glenn thinks. Lots of people really believe he will not be the nominee, though. He will not be the one running for president by I don't know September. Certainly.
Yeah, I still don't think that. I mean, I still think that he will not be the nominee for the Democrats. Yes.
I don't know who they turn to, but bring it on. Except for Michelle Obama. Don't bring her on. No. That's the only one that I can't abide. Anybody else, go ahead and substitute them for Joe Biden. That's fine by me. They don't have anybody. Talked about this a little bit on Glenn's show when I filled in yesterday. Who do they have on that Democrat bench that could do the job, that could beat Donald Trump? They've got no one.
I'll tell you who they had an opportunity for, and they turned their back, and they're doing to him what they did to Bernie Sanders is Robert Kennedy
RFK.
Jr.
Yeah.
He absolutely could have done that. But whatever. Okay.
I don't know if he beats Trump, but he'd probably be better than... He'd certainly be better than Gavin Newsom, who's got a terrible track record.
I think RFK would have gotten more votes than Biden or Newsom for sure.
I mean, a provably bad track record in California. So I don't know why you're even thinking about him.
But I'm 100% with you. If it's Michelle Obama,
it's bad.
It's
really bad.
This is the last stand on earth, America. Where do you go?
Yeah. Because A, she probably wins. B, she hates this country and would be more extreme even than anybody else we've ever seen. I think she'd be worse than Biden. And he's been
I hope you're
as bad
right
as it gets.
In her motivation of enjoying the lifestyle of luxury that she currently has.
Yes, she loves that.
And I hope that she's more, what's the word? She's more, I guess, selfish maybe. I don't know. Selfish than power hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hopefully.
I hope that she just enjoys that lifestyle.
We'll see. Glenn feels so strongly about it. He and Stu have a bet.
They have a bet, right?
For $2,000 now. It's $2,000 that he's betting Michelle Obama takes over.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
of course, $2,000 to him is like 20 cents to you and me. So
it has to be Michelle Obama as the nominee. It can't just be Biden isn't the nominee.
No, I think it has to be her. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because, they could switch. I mean, there's probably...
Kamala will be a placeholder at some point. I still believe that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. She's terrible.
Maybe that's the hang-up. They haven't come up with the perfect package to satisfy... How did I walk into that one? Anyway, to make her just accept 9-month presidency.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not going to be the convention nominee. This is how it's all... I mean, there's so many different... guideposts along the way that have to get all your ducks in a row. And I think maybe that's one of the hangups is my theory right now.
Yeah. I don't know who else. I mean, there's Kamala, barring Michelle Obama. There's Kamala, there's Hillary, and there's Al Gore.
Al Gore. Oh.
And who else?
Well, when is future President Dwayne?
I'm normally way over there with Bernie and Elizabeth.
All right, and she's back in the race.
She's back in.
the race.
She's back in. Marianne Williamson, you go get her, Dims. So when is Dwayne The Rock Johnson going to be? Because he's future president. I just don't know what cycle he's going to get involved with. Mm-hmm. But he's running out of opportunities because America doesn't have any election cycles left.
And is he a confirmed Democrat now? Do we know that?
I think he's independent.
You think?
But I think he obviously leans left for sure.
Oh, jeez. That's too bad. Earlier this week, Colorado Congressman Ken Buck called for the Biden cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment, which would force the president out of office, of course. Buck stated the Her report officially addressed what many Americans have long witnessed with their own eyes, that President Biden is no longer fit, not that he ever was, I might throw that in, is no longer fit to successfully discharge the critical duties of his office. Numerous instances were articulated in the report and have played out in full public view, showing President Biden's apparent cognitive decline and lack of mental stamina. It's for sure.
I mean, I don't know.
Can't deny it.
Yeah. What's Ken Buck's angle on this? Because he voted twice to not impeach Mayorkas. He voted no on censuring Rashida Tlaib. He voted no on censuring Adam Schiff. So why is this one his?
I don't know.
Because he's an interesting cat that I don't quite understand.
And where would that go anyway? It's not. It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. He's fantastic.
And we were talking about Kamala. That she just made an announcement that they want to pay college students to register other young people to vote. She wants to activate them.
Okay.
So we are now wanting to take, again, congratulations on waking up early. You're getting ready for work right now. And the Vice President of the United States wants to take part of your paycheck and pay people to go and sign up people to vote.
And continue to destroy your country.
Against your interests, yes.
Yeah, isn't that great?
So that's cool. No, that's great.
But here's a woman who favors all of that. She's a strong proponent of all of this.
Oh, good.
In fact, so much so, she wrote this brilliant song for Joe Biden.
Song for Joe Biden. A good one. The best.
All right.
Joe Biden's gonna win. Through and thick and thin. No matter what they throw at him, no matter what they crow at him, Joe Biden's gonna win.
Oh my gosh. I want to
Joe Biden's gonna win.
You said a good one. Where's the good one?
Joe Biden's gonna win. The vote ain't gonna be thin. The Senate and the House go blue. Democracy will stay strong for you.
Wow.
Democracy. Trump tried so hard and failed. Tricks and lies, now he'll go to jail.
Heaven help us get through this. Heaven help
Congress will follow through. And say and do what's honest and true.
Oops.
Red,
Oh,
white,
boy.
and blue.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Easy on the key.
Joe Biden's gonna win. And save us once again. From living in autocracy. We'll keep our strong democracy. Joe Biden's gonna win.
Wow.
Joe Biden's gonna win.
The only way that could have been better is if she did it in her car. Because isn't that where you do all those videos?
Yeah, but the Casio won't fit in there.
Oh, okay.
Is the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Boy, she was
probably
proud of
right.
herself, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Joe
That's
Biden's
so bad.
So very bad. She mentioned the Congress in there. Tom Swayze just got sworn in yesterday to take the seat of the great George Santos. So now it's officially 219 to 213 in favor of Republicans.
Wow.
I don't know the
Getting
ins and
thinner
outs.
every day.
Yeah, there's 3 empty seats there. So
Jeez.
Cool.
Yeah, good. Continues to go really well, doesn't it?
Gonna win. Catchy, though, right?
It's going to be in your head all day. I'll say that. So the Supreme Court decided they will hear arguments in the Trump immunity case in April. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments the week of April 22nd in the high-stakes dispute over whether former President Trump enjoys immunity from federal criminal prosecution. The order from the court on Wednesday keeps Trump's prosecution in the January 6th case on hold for at least a few more months. The justices said in an unsigned order that the review would be limited to a single question: whether, and if so, to what extent does a former president enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office? This was supposed to protect presidents and elected officials of all stripes, really, from political attacks like Trump is enjoying right now.
Yeah.
The issue is one of first impression for the Supreme Court, since no former president has ever faced criminal charges. Not even Richard Nixon. That's incredible. Wow. Trump is fighting 91 criminal charges in 4 jurisdictions. The charges are related to his effort to cling to power after he lost the 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden, and other alleged misdeeds that involved retention of classified documents, which Biden didn't have to worry about.
No.
And hush money payments to an adult film actress. Is that a crime? Since when is that a crime?
Seems like it'd be a crime to reveal the details of something that was locked and sealed, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, even if the Stormy Daniels thing, and that's who it is, right? Isn't it the Stormy Daniels case? Mm-hmm. Even if he did pay her off to be quiet, and I don't know that he did. He denies it. Is that a crime? Since when is hush money a crime? Weird. That's just, I mean, they're going after him for every conceivable thing and a lot of unconceivable things. Special counsel Jack Smith urged the Supreme Court to swiftly reject Trump's claims, arguing the charged crimes strike at the heart of our democracy, which we don't have. So I'm not worried about that. All right. As we sit here today, the lives of babies still in the womb hang in the balance. Let me talk to you for a minute about the most important and pressing issue of our day, and that's the lives of our unborn children. They really need our help. They really need our protection. The Ministry of Preborn empowers young expectant mothers in crisis to choose life. They've rescued hundreds of thousands of babies through ultrasounds that they administer for the woman free of charge to her, but it's not free. That's where we come in. And your $28 donation, just $28, will provide an ultrasound to an expectant mother. That doubles the chance that the baby is going to be born alive. Once they see that it's not, as they've been told, just a clump of cells. Don't worry about it, just a clump of cells. That's all it is. No, they see that's a lie, and they've been lied to, and all the pressure that they're getting from whatever corner. They get the relief and the facts and the spirit from preborn that this is human life, and it works. So whether you can afford $28, $1, maybe you could do $28 a month and sponsor babies for an entire year, go to preborn.com/Pat, or you could dial pound 250, say the keyword baby, pound 250 keyword baby, or preborn.com/Pat.
Joe Biden's gonna win.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where we have these tweets. Patriot Beagles 2 tweets, watch Joe's video again. That's not a jog. He tripped on the grass.
Oh, he tripped on the grass. Let's take a look here.
What came out of your meeting with Speaker Johnson?
Yeah, probably.
I can go there.
But he tried to cover it up too, I think, with the fakey kind of, oh, I meant to do that. I meant to speed up right here.
I can't take this.
I know. Mega trends in normality, America. Come for the espionage, stay for the cash.
True.
Yeah, pretty alluring. Tyler Bell, the only person that makes Biden look young would be the crypt keeper. Well, or the song lady.
Joe Biden's gonna win.
Okay. Rowdy Introvert probably going to get that up on patheads.com any minute now, I hope.
Arkansas Pathead tweets, have you ever noticed that illegal aliens have received more than our Vietnam vets have received? Oh gosh. No question.
That hurts, dude.
Bob Corona, Nikki Haley / Mitt Romney, Democrat 2024. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the ticket. That could be the Democrat Party ticket.
Sure could,
actually.
Man.
Gilbert tweets, they can't replace Biden at this point. They don't have enough time to reprint all the fraudulent ballots.
Yeah, and Quiet Storm, Pat, Quiet Storm makes the point, you ask about their bench, Pat. Mm-hmm. Democrats have cheating on their bench, and Republicans are doing nothing to stop another steal. Absolutely. Right. It doesn't matter who they pick or when they pick them. They've got what they need in place regardless.
And it's shocking that Republicans have done almost nothing, if not absolutely nothing, about it in the last 3 years.
It's frustrating and it's terrifying.
Interesting new poll out. About 2/3 of Americans reject or are skeptical about Christian nationalism, despite its rising influence. The shaping education, immigration, and healthcare policies? Really? Huh. Some Republicans are openly expressing Christian nationalist views, which have ranged from calls for more religion in public schools to book bans. No! And even suggestions that democracy should die. That's the Jack Posobiec thing, right? Where he was at CPAC and he was joking about democracy and about ending it. These people are such lying sacks. It's it's like the Trump lie that he got Melania's name right and called her Mercedes. So obvious the lie there. This once fringe ideology, according to the study, has become prevalent in some deeply red states at a time when the nation overall is increasingly diverse and less religious. Okay, great. Great. Then let's just let it be. In California, New York, and Virginia, more than 75% of respondents said they were rejectors or skeptics of Christian nationalism. But in 5 deeply red states, at least 45% of respondents said they were adherents or sympathizers of Christian nationalism. 50% in North Dakota, Mississippi 50%, 47% in Alabama and West Virginia, and 46% in Louisiana. But what does that mean? How are people interpreting Christian nationalism? Well, I looked it up in the Webster's dictionary, and the definition of white nationalism is one of a group of militant white people who espouse white supremacy and advocate enforced racial segregation. I am not that. I don't know anybody who is that, and I don't know a single person calling for that. Under that definition, there is no white nationalism, no Christian nationalism movement. What about a far-right platform? This is the alternative definition. A far-right platform that includes white nationalism and opposition to Israel for Christian nationalism. Okay. Do you know anybody who opposes Israel on the right? I mean, I'm sure there's some.
Yeah.
And, but I don't consider fascists to be on the right.
And I can't think of a politician right now that
I can't either.
Is pushing that.
I mean, that is absolute nonsense. By the way, Jewish students now are feeling unsafe at UC Berkeley. What a stunning surprise there. The liberals are making Jews feel unsafe when they go to school there. Some students are saying that they're fearing for their safety after an event organized by Jewish student groups was shut down by pro-Palestinian demonstrators the other day. Now, local leaders in the Jewish community are calling on the university to do more when it comes to keeping Jewish students safe on campus. One of the organizers said it was a culmination of the anti-Semitism she's seen on campus since the October 7th attacks. And she also believes it's creating a culture of intimidation toward Jewish students, which seems to be being accepted by all these major universities. Harvard, UC Berkeley. I mean, all over the place. This is happening.
Yep.
What they claimed to be a peaceful protest was them banging on the windows so hard to the point that they shattered the glass, according to one of the Jewish students.
Good Lord.
She described the chaotic scene Monday night on campus with hundreds of pro-Palestinian demonstrators breaking windows at Zellerbach Hall, where a private event organized by Jewish student groups was set to take place. She claims the demonstrators became violent toward the attendees trying to get inside. She said, I get in, but behind me, a girl is grabbed by the neck and shoved by the crowd. The person speaking at the event was a former Israeli soldier, but due to safety concerns, the university canceled the event, with campus police even escorting attendees through an underground exit to safety. So this Jewish student says, what is this? 1938-39 Germany? Nazi Germany? Where I have to hide because my safety is at risk. Yeah. Starting to feel that way, isn't it? The university is strongly condemning the incident, though. A portion of the statement by the university chancellor said, we share your anger and concern, and we understand that we must do all that we can to prevent anything like this from ever happening again. So what have you done? Wow. Incredible. Tyler Gregory of the Jewish Community Relations Council feels the university must provide a tangible plan. I don't know what sophomore or junior in high school is looking at what's happening at Cal if they're Jewish and wants to apply to UC Berkeley. No, but they shouldn't be doing that anyway. We're not going to be scared. We're not going to continue being openly and proudly pro-Israel, according to the anti-Jewish people on campus. They're going to continue their attacks on Israel. Good. Okay. That's great. And why is this acceptable now? Why is this, I guess because most of the Jews are probably white, and so it's okay to discriminate against white people. In fact, it's not just okay, it's encouraged. So, good luck at UC Berkeley and Harvard and Princeton and Cornell and all these other supposed bastions of higher education. Good luck if you're Jewish there. More coming up. Next.
The Biden administration sucks.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Man, there's a lot of sickness going around right now. So we've definitely broken out the Clorox wipes around here, trying to disinfect everything. Keith's been sick all week. Yeah. He still sounds sick today.
What? Do I really?
But you feel better, right?
I feel great.
Okay.
I feel so good.
Your voice is a little bit
deeper.
Yeah,
coughing
a little bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Leaves a mark.
But as I'm wiping down every surface around here, I was noticing on the side of the Clorox container that there's a lot of killing going on. It kills 99% of germs.
Okay.
It kills viruses in 15 seconds. Wow. It kills MRSA, strep, staph. I mean, that's a lot of killing happening, isn't it? What is the deal with Clorox?
Don't forget about Salmonella, E. coli.
Right, and it kills all of that. It kills all
that and remove common allergens.
And there's a lot of different cloths in that container over there. It's like a high capacity weapon.
Oh yes,
yes. It's a weapon of mass destruction,
killing machine.
What are there? 100 wipes in there that kill all these
75.
life forms?
75.
Wow, bro. Do you need that many?
Why is it okay to kill all of these life forms here on Earth when if we discovered a microbe life form, a bacteria on Mars,
right,
living there on our first Mars mission, and then during the second mission, that bacteria or that microbe was killed, wouldn't the left go absolutely mad over that? You killed life on Mars! You accidentally killed the microbe! Then they go insane over that.
Right.
They don't mind the fact that you can wipe out tens of millions of babies,
right?
Human life in the womb. That's fine. But don't kill a microbe on Mars.
Well, the microbe doesn't poop
unacceptable.
Everywhere. Okay, so let's think this through.
Right.
It doesn't cry in the middle of the night.
Right.
It doesn't constantly demand, hey, mommy, I need to eat. It's 2 a.m. I don't care. You're sleeping.
Cost you about a third of your salary every month to try to take care of them. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So the microbe's just hanging out doing its thing.
Just hanging out. It's just minding its own business. That's all. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe there's some...
But why do you need 75 wipes in one container? Can just one take care of it? You just read how effective it is.
It's the same with the bullets. It's the same with the magazine, the clip. I always get confused, but is it clip or a magazine?
Go with
Which
magazine
is it?
on that.
I'm going to go with magazine. Yes. Should I go with magazine?
You should go with magazine.
All right, going with magazine.
But, cool.
But, yeah, why do you need 75 or 100? How many are in this? Let's see.
75, the one that I have.
Is it this size?
Yeah, it's the same size. Yeah.
Okay,
right there.
so it's 75.
Yep.
I thought they increased that by about 10%.
You want to hear something exciting? Since we're talking about microbes and other planets and stuff.
Yeah.
It only took me 10 years, Pat, but while I was laid up this past few days, I watched, what is it, Transcendent? What is the movie where what's his name? The guy who wanted to be governor of Texas, Matthew McConaughey, goes in outer space.
Okay.
You've seen it?
Interstellar?
Interstellar. What did I call it?
Transcendent.
I don't even know what word I came up with.
Yeah, it's Interstellar.
I've been on drugs, man.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I'm only 10 years. It came out in 2014.
Yeah.
Finally saw it.
But congratulations. It's usually 30 for you.
Right.
It's usually 30 years between the movie being released and you actually watching it. So that's pretty good.
I didn't even know the name of it, though.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, a very good flick if you haven't seen Interstellar.
It is good.
There's our 10-year
review. It actually is good. Right. Okay. Well, good. Something else that happened yesterday that was really good is that a death row inmate was spared. They were about to execute him yesterday in Idaho. This is the longest serving death row inmate in Idaho and maybe the country and perhaps the world. He's been there since 1981 on death row for 43 years. Are you kidding me? He's 73 now. And how did he escape the execution yesterday?
Oh, no.
They couldn't find a vein. Yeah, so they canceled it.
Wait a minute.
They couldn't find a vein for the lethal injection. Do you have a baseball bat handy? Yeah. I mean, what? The guy killed 4 people and admitted to 42 more. He claimed, they haven't been able to substantiate it, but he claimed to have killed up to 42 people by the time he was 24 years old.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, Keith.
So I've walked out of a hospital before in Houston where they could not find a vein because I had a bunch of incompetent individuals trying to help me at this particular moment.
Yeah.
And it was so painful and so disturbing. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
This doesn't bode well. I'm leaving. And the doctor was like, AMA against medical advice right here. This gentleman right here, as I was trying to sign out. It was so stupid. Anyway.
And then all of a sudden you're sick now. Maybe he was right.
All of a sudden.
You shouldn't have left.
That was 20 years ago. That was halfway through this guy's time on death row.
You walked out of the hospital in Houston and promptly got sick just a few years later in Dallas. So
wow.
Isn't that interesting?
The point I'm trying to make is that in a hospital, they can poke and prod and urge me to stay so they can continue to poke and prod against my will, despite the fact they're causing unnecessary pain.
Right.
But this moron's on his way out and they can't do that to him?
Nope, they can't. In fact, they canceled time expired. The clock ran out.
He was out of timeouts.
Yeah, he's in overtime now.
Okay.
They're just apparently not going to... Now they're not going to execute him, apparently.
Hasn't he been through enough suffering at this point,
Pat? That's right. Well, and that's what his supporters, his lawyer actually said.
No.
That they botched the execution and should leave it alone now because he's a harmless old man.
Oh my God.
He's a harmless old man who maybe murdered 40 people? Come on. And Idaho specifies that you can do it through lethal injection or a firing squad.
Bro.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, wow, we don't have any facilities for the firing squad. There has to be a special facility built for it?
Have a compromise.
Yeah.
Why don't you just take one of them Clorox wipes and just run it right across his face?
Yeah, see if it kills.
Yeah, let's go.
That life form. Jeez. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? And we're now all the sympathy is with this murderer. Now they said he's changed over the years, and maybe he has, and that's great. But that doesn't mean you still don't face the punishment for what you did. There are still consequences, but maybe not in this particular case.
So I'm not a doctor, but is lethal injection, that's like a poison, right?
Yeah,
that's like poison.
Yeah, basically.
Couldn't you just stab him and put the poison in?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, just jam it in there.
Just jam it in there, and then he's gonna die. It's poison.
Governor Chris Cruz here, taking the reins of Idaho. So, all right, that's interesting.
It is,
but
it's incredible.
You know, it's apparently never too late to bring Nazis and SS guards to justice. But this old guy, he gets off now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that something? It's really crazy.
It's never too late for justice, right?
No.
So what are we doing here?
No, and if that was his sentence, carry it out.
Yeah.
I don't know how have you waited 43 years for it already?
But he's a tender old man now.
Yeah, he's harmless.
So harmless and
he's
whatnot.
harmless. He hasn't killed anybody for quite a while. So, because he's been in prison all this time. But he did actually, one of the murders that he was convicted for was in prison. So he was in prison when he killed one of his victims.
Wow, this guy's proliferate.
He's beautiful. He's wonderful. Yeah, he's great. All right, in 5 days, it's Super Tuesday. So if you live in any of these states, it's your time to vote. In Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, and Virginia.
Yeah, and apparently this weekend we've got Idaho, Missouri, D.C., and then Monday, North Dakota. My gosh, it's just crazy.
Wow.
A lot of anticlimactic elections, though. But don't forget, you got your state and local races to concern yourself with, too.
Well, yes. And propositions probably on your ballot. There's all kinds of stuff to still make it worthwhile to go and vote. And I think, does early voting end Friday here?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it does. I still wonder why states don't move up their primary to a time when, I don't know, it matters. Wouldn't you like to have a say in the nomination process?
Should be a national primary.
Yes.
One and done.
It's time to talk about that again. We discussed it a few weeks ago, but we need to hammer that. Let's do a national primary. Or at least move Texas up to be the first one instead of Iowa.
Yeah.
At least have a state with a population base that really is significant.
I would like to point out a very interesting fact that Clay Travis pointed out on Twitter in relation to the Michigan primary.
Yeah.
So he said, this is the first time that Trump and Biden have been on the ballot at the same time during this election cycle. Trump got 755,000 votes. Biden got 618,000 votes. It's a big gap.
Yeah.
So then if you take that uncommitted thing that Rashida Tlaib was doing and stuff, and you add the 101,000 uncommitted votes for the Democrat, then you would put Biden up to 719. There were 33,000 uncommitted Republicans that would still keep Trump ahead of him at 788. So in other words, even with the uncommitted votes,
Trump still wins.
Trump still wins handily over Biden.
Good.
Now, again, I don't know how much 2 a.m. ballot drops are happening in Detroit on primary day.
Hopefully not enough to sway the victory.
But that's interesting. 755 to 618.
Yeah, it is.
The first time that, in other words, this wasn't a vote where you could go in and vote. You can't come and manipulate the Trump thing if you still want to vote for Biden. In other words, this was, you had to choose. Who am I voting for here?
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Maybe that's a good sign. Hope so. Yeah. I really, really hope so.
But don't forget about the formidable challenge from Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
She was right there. Right. I mean, okay, she lost 2-1 again to Trump in Michigan. But there is a woman who voted for Nikki Haley.
So convincing.
Who's very committed to Nikki Haley for president.
Yeah.
Here she is.
I'm voting to stop Trump because I believe in democracy, and I feel like it's important that we fight for democracy.
Yeah, fight for
democracy. We still can.
Wow, we still can. She is right there.
Yeah.
It's really important.
She believes in democracy. Well, then you should move to a country that has a democracy, democratic form of government, perhaps.
So why did you vote for Haley over Trump, ma'am? What was that again? Convince me.
I'm voting to stop Trump because I believe in democracy, and I feel like it's important that we fight for democracy while we still can.
Right, while we still
powerful.
can.
Wow, it's powerful.
And Noah did a great job of trimming the front of that, but you hear the guy behind the camera say, go. Go. Convince us. So that was definitely, obviously off the cuff.
Makes you feel good, though, about who's voting in this country, doesn't it?
Nikki Haley supporter.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's good. That was powerful. Well said. Well spoken there, Puddin'.
Who will be out of this race first, Nikki Haley or Joe Biden? Seriously.
I'm hoping Nikki Haley. I really do hope she's out soon. Although, I guess it's not hurting anything.
It's not hurting.
Who cares?
She's just racking up the donor dollars. Of course, those are drying up now, too.
Yeah, but if you're donating and you're stupid enough to continue to donate to her, at least the Koch network cut her off. Finally. They're like, okay, we're not going to waste any more of our money on you. But if her other donors want to, go ahead, knock yourself out. Just tell me which of those Super Tuesday states or the states coming up this weekend does she have a chance of winning? None of them. She's not going to win a single one. She won't win even one state of the upcoming votes this weekend or on Super Tuesday. So why would you keep going? Well, I guess in case Trump winds up in prison.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. Okay. She's still not going to be the nominee.
No.
Even then, somebody else will be selected.
Not voting for a ticket with her name on it.
All right. 888-900-3393. We also have a stupid question from Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And it goes a little something like this.
Parts of speech 6. Them, theirs, themself. Chris. What are pronouns? Those are pronouns, neo-pronouns. You have 62.
Oh my gosh, here we go. We're mainstreaming this garbage now.
Them, theirs.
Don't spend a lot of time.
And themself.
Yeah. What are pronouns? Yes, neo-pronouns. Great job. Welcome to the cult.
Oh my gosh.
You can now make money on.
So, Jeopardy's completely caved.
Oh, sure.
That is.
So now, what's more ridiculous, that or what happened?
Are those official? Are they officially listed in the English language as real words, real pronouns?
Oh, the Webster Dictionary is getting changed by the minute.
Absolutely.
Okay, but is that more ridiculous, or what happened at the Colorado State House at their legislature the other day with this debate? Check this out.
So, can you explain to me, before I proceed, exactly why I was gavelled out?
He's been admonished for not referring to the proper
Representative
pronoun.
Bottoms, you were not gavelled out. I put the House into recess so that you and I could speak briefly about speaking on Tiara's law, the amendment before us.
Okay. Tiara's law.
Okay, so what are the things that I cannot say?
I would ask that you refer to Tiara,
okay,
her chosen name, and speak to her as a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a felony if you change someone's identity.
The criminal record review obtained
if this passes
by the Publica shows that Tiara has been convicted of driving without a valid driver's license, criminal trespassing, forgery, possession of controlled substances, several instances of prostitution and lewdness, including sexual impropriety with a minor. Also has been held in contempt of court at least once.
Okay.
In total, has committed 24 criminal and traffic offenses since 1999. With the most recent being in 2019. Now, again, addressing what I had started off addressing earlier with the criminal record.
Here we go. Now listen.
Tiara Latrice Kelly, also known as Tiara Latrice Powell.
Okay.
Tiara Latrice Wells and Dwayne Antonio Kelly. Has
Representative Bottoms, I will ask you to leave the well.
Oh,
you got it.
What? We're in hell. Where in hell? He was reading the criminal record.
Reading
the dude Tiara was named Dwayne at the time.
Oh,
and now it's time to leave the well because you're not falling in line with news.
Just dead named him.
So what's more ridiculous?
Or
the trivia question on Jeopardy or what just happened in the Colorado legislature?
Well, the Colorado legislature, since Jeopardy is a game show.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more important in the legislative process of one of our states. That is unreal.
Representative Bottoms,
and he complied. He left.
To leave the well.
Okay, I'm going to leave the well because I said a name. And actually, a real name of the person we're speaking about.
I'm literally just reading the criminal record.
Oh, my gosh. That's unbelievable. Oh, my gosh. How do we survive? We don't.
We don't, man.
We don't.
Thank you.
If we continue down this road, we don't. Earlier, we mentioned the anti-Semitism on college campuses. Yesterday, we played a clip of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Who was leaving a pro-Israel event where he was heckled for not siding with pro-Hamas protesters.
Wow. You're for genocide. Okay, we got it.
I can't.
All right, so there's the context. How dare he support Israel's right to defend itself?
So a clip has been going around that didn't get a lot of attention when it aired a few months ago. Here's a CBS reporter making a really stupid observation about a show Jerry Seinfeld is hosting.
I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males of 22 episodes.
Yeah, let's get into that.
No, but you
take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? But this really pisses me off. But go ahead. It really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? Right. It's just funny. Right. You know, funny is the the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix? You know.
Good for you.
I think that's
insane.
To me, it's anti-comedy.
Wow. Yes.
Good job.
Thank you, Jerry. Nicely done. And what am I supposed to consult the census and get the exact demographic breakdown here? It's got to be only 71% of white people. It's got to be exactly 14% of blacks. We'll do 19% Hispanic comedians and the rest Asian and other, I guess. It's unbelievable. Yep. That's unbelievable. Thank you for that, Jerry Seinfeld.
The goal is funny, not DEI, so back off, man.
Oh, man. But it just shows just how stupid things have gotten in the world. That's what you're going to ask Jerry Seinfeld about?
Yep. I mean, there you go.
I'm kind of surprised the guy didn't follow up with, so are you saying black people aren't funny? Is that what you're saying? They're not funny?
Well, the FBI is definitely mixing in the DEI, though, at least, because they're warning us about criminal theft rings.
Okay.
And they're showing us the perpetrators.
Oh, there they are.
There we go.
There's your typical, stereotypical American
higher
thieves.
Prices, dangerous products, and closing businesses.
Young white chicks.
Yeah.
How many young white chicks like this, attractive young white girls, have overrun a lot of these clothing stores, convenience stores?
Sure. I mean, that's what it is. Like
malls.
We clip after clip after clip. It's young white women in the suburbs who are just taking stuff.
I'm so tired of the reign of terror. It's about time we bring it to a halt.
Sure.
Because there's just too much of it. Just too much. And speaking of young women.
Yeah. Okay. This is the clip of the
America.
day. This is the clip of the day.
Okay.
If Jeff Fisher were a preacher. No.
Oh, my gosh. This is the preacher
guy. Have you seen this guy?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Check this out. Oof.
And I sat there in my car. I thought, I'm going to see if that's right.
Okay.
And I counted. Try that. You'll find more women go in those places with shorts than you will women with pants and dresses put together.
Really?
Try it.
Okay. So
if you got time, try it. Have your boy go up there and try it.
Whoa.
Just watch for him. Have your girl go up there and watch for it.
For women.
And you know, I used to say this.
He used to say this.
Yeah, I haven't said this in a long time. You ready?
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't say it now.
I said, if you dress like that and you get raped and I'm on the jury, he's going to go free.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you don't like, do you? I'm right, though.
Oh, my.
I can't help you don't like it. I'm right. Because, a man's a man. A man's a man.
No, honey. No, pudding. No, pumpkin. No. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, bro. Ooh. Is that guy still... What?
He can't be, right? He can't still be the pastor of that church.
This was recent, right?
He just said that, okay, if you're wearing shorts and you get raped, and he's on the jury, he's going to vote that that man's not guilty of rape. Because a man's a man. And if he can see your legs, then wow, oh my gosh, that's outrageous.
And he just invited.
Oh my gosh!
Have your boy go sit in there and gawk at the women folk. I mean,
and then he says he prefaces the remark by saying, "I used to say this." Yeah, is there a reason you used to say it and don't anymore? You might want to stick to that. No, he goes ahead. Unreal.
Oh, my.
Ooh-wee. Wow. All right. 888-933-93 is the number to use tomorrow when we finish off the week together. We also have overtime coming up today to enjoy.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.